uploaded as well. So haven't heard from Raf. He's no doubt pretty busy. So I'll catch up with him later. Where are we? All right, I'm going to share my screen, just some technical details. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Accelerator orientation. Sweet.
Yeah, we can.
All right, boys. Welcome. Exciting. How are we feeling?
Yeah, excited.
We're excited. Hopefully you guys are too. We've got a nice little group as part of Cohort 2. So we've got 4. So Raf, who Glenn knows, is joining us as well. He couldn't be here today. So today is simply an opportunity for us to go through how the program is going to work, some of the key logistics and bits and pieces, and an opportunity for you all to have a quick meet and greet for each other and ask any questions that you may have in relation to the program. So Warren Buffett said that the more you learn, the more you earn. And whether that be technical or business, knowledge is and wisdom, which is the difference between knowledge and wisdom, is simply wisdom is the skillful application of the knowledge. So the program is very much about helping you become better business people to make better decisions in your business so that you can build the business that you want. And your business will never outgrow you. To grow your business, you must first grow yourself. And that was from John Maxwell, who's an author and leadership guru. And basically, you are the limit of what your business can become. So if you stall, your business will stall. So investing in your growth means that you're investing in your business. And when we coach our one-on-one clients, we say, this is not what the business needs to become. This is what you need to become. So today is a journey that you are embarking on, and it's most probably a journey that you need to say, I'm going to be on for the rest of my business life, because as your business grows and evolves, so will your skill set need to, and your knowledge. So away we go. So we're going to quickly go through an introduction to the program. We'll go through our expectations and the logistics in relation to how the program runs, and then any questions that you may have in relation to those things and more in the program. So first up, given we don't know each other, we thought we might get you to quickly say your business, your name, your business name, the industry or profession you're in, and what specifically you would like to get out of this course. So have a quick think. I'll give you a minute or two to have a think about that, and then we'll go around and share with one another. Who'd like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Glenn from Mount Lawley Pest Control. Obviously, it's a pest control business that I own. What I want to get out of this course is that I want to grow the business to a point where in 5 years' time I can sell it if I wish to, and exit work and business if I choose to. I've only got time to do it once. I'm 55 already, so I don't want to burn this thing to the ground and have to rebuild it. So I don't want to make any strategic errors early on that put me on a path to destruction or make me have to redo things.
It's very
Sweet.
pragmatic and practical, Claire.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Got a lot of that. Yeah.
Mate, and you know what? I think it's whether you're 55 and you've got one go at this, you most probably got a few more goes even at 55, mate. You're a fit and healthy chap. You'll be around for a while, I reckon. But I get it. But whether you're 55 or 25, I think Steve would concur with me. Almost all our clients that have been business, are typically in business for 5, 10, 15 years. They all go, I wish I'd done this earlier and not made the mistakes that I have made along the way. They've obviously survived and grown as a result of those. But yeah, it can be a painful exercise. So why wouldn't you get as much advice and learning so that you avoid as many of those mistakes as possible. So, yep, sweet.
And the time flies past very quickly, Glenn. So I salute you for saying, let's put a bit of tactics into this. It's a good plan.
Yeah. I let fear rule me for, since I was a teenager. Since I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to be a business owner. And I've let fear stop me until now. And eventually I got to the point where it was actually, there was more risk in staying an employee in my mid-50s than becoming a business owner. So that was the point at which I thought I've got to do it now or I've got huge risk. A guy in his 50s, if he loses his job, a lot of the times he'll lose his relationship at the same time and he'll be turfed out of home and there's all sorts of shit things happen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A lot of people who run small businesses say to us, I've got a low risk profile, and we always smile because we go, and you're running a business.
Yeah,
it's actually greater than you imagine.
Yeah. That said, we reckon that small business is to go into business and to run a well-run small business is one of the best and greatest things you'll do in terms of the return on investment. We don't think there's any better return that you're going to get. And two, it's also one of the most fulfilling things to actually overcome fears. I think every person that goes into business for themselves has those fears and self-doubts and what if. But to be able to go, I'm doing it and I've made that jump and I'm, whether it's formal or in your head, you've got a little, fuzzy map of what you want to create. I think when you go through and do that, I think it's one of the best things that you'll do. And so, if you're serious about it, why wouldn't you go and get some help? So hats off to all three of you. And thanks for sharing that, Glenn. Looking forward to helping you get along that 5-year journey.
Yeah, beautiful.
You might enjoy it so much, you might go, I'll keep going, thanks. Hopefully. So happy days. Thanks, Glenn. Who else would like to share? Michael, do you want to have a go, mate?
So Michael Alessandrini, business names Chili's Distributions, food and beverage, retail mostly. Supermarkets, local brands, and a little bit of representation, distribution, and procurement in that as well. I've been in business for probably on and off for 11 to 12 years now. Come from a family business background, so really I'm looking to start from afresh and build some solid foundations and have some different perspectives and learnings out of this. So I'm sort of at a point now where I've realised I sort of stop and start so much, and I'm at a point now that I've turned a full circle and keep coming back to this industry. So got a lot of relationships and contacts. So yeah, want to put a solid foundation forward because I see myself doing this for the rest of my life anyway. So how can I leverage all different facets of what I've been doing over the last 10 years and put it all together. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sounds pretty good to us. One of the things is one of the benefits of coming on a group like getting into a group like this is that one of our aims is to shift you from a point of view to a viewing point so that you can see the bigger picture and also get the input of your colleagues here. It's quite a lonely thing often running a small business. And so having people you can talk to, bounce ideas off is a really good thing to have for a season. So well done.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and on that, and we'll talk about this a little bit, that diverse perspective, often we find some of our clients have really unique perspectives and different perspectives. And it's when you look at how they think about it, often it has application outside of that particular industry. And in actual fact, when you apply it to others, it actually creates a really powerful point of difference. Too often we go into clients and you go, why are you doing that? And they'll say, well, because that's how it's done in the industry, or that's how we've always done it. And when you're set in your ways like that, it can be very hard to shift, and it's very hard to differentiate yourself. And when you look at how the people in this room, whether it be Steve or myself or Glenn or Mark or Raf, there's such a diversity of past experiences, whether it be in terms of jobs or businesses that people have been involved in. And so to be able to take that and apply that in your business, even if it's just a check to go, am I actually on the right path here? And it may be, yeah, you know what, I like what you've got to say, but actually that just solidifies that I am doing things the right way. Then that's good. We're all about helping bring the context to the surface and make sure that you're aware of all the things so you make really, really good decisions rather than just going through the motions of it. So welcome aboard, Michael, and looking forward to you being part of the group. Lastly today, Mark, how's Bustleton today, mate?
Yeah, no, nice and sunny today. It's good. It's quite nice awesome down here. Mark Finnegan, business is Made Property Maintenance. We service down here in the southwest maintenance solutions for Airbnb properties, companies, private Airbnb owners, real estate agents, and also I have private holiday home owners down here as well. So I take care of their properties while they're not here. Being a first-time business owner, been running now for just coming into my fifth year in September. This September I'll be turning 5. I don't want my business to run me. I want to run my business, and I'd look to grow it to be small, maybe have 1 or 2 employees, so that when it's time for me to have a bit of a spell, the business doesn't shut down and it can keep flowing. Because as you know, boys, you probably get immersed into your business and the blinkers come on and you don't look outside the square, and all of a sudden you're consumed by it. So at the moment, I feel like I'm being consumed. So part of this course is to sort of try and work through those processes and how I can do things better.
That sounds like a real plan. We can find ourselves stuck in our business, and then we lose the perspective of the bigger picture and really what we're trying to achieve and what are strategies to get to the situation where you've got 1 or 2 employees and you're taking a bit of time out to do other things that you like to do. So it does take an intention and some skills. So it's a good thing you're doing, I think.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, you know, there's a reason we structure the course the way that we do, and I'll go through that in a moment. And it is about pulling you out of the day to day and the fog of the day to day, and having some clear air and clear space where you're not caught up in what's going on here or what's going on out there, but you can actually just clear all that away for a period and just work in the present moment on what you want to achieve and where you want to go. I think is hugely powerful and critical. Successful business owners, whether they realise it or not, do that anyway. They take time out for this stuff because it gives them filters for which they can make great decisions. So, stoked you're here, Mark. Mark's based in Busselton, as he mentioned, so he's going to be joining us up every week, which is exciting. Big effort from Mark, so thank you for making that effort. Do we need to share a little bit about us, Steve? Is there anything you want to share that they might not know?
Well, we've all met before, haven't we? Have we all met at the one of the workshops, haven't we? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could say that Oscar and I share one common characteristic, and that is we've been chartered accountants and we've been in practice. And we don't do that anymore. We actually do some more practical things. From my perspective, I've worked in training and development. I've owned and run my own kit home business in Victoria, and very successfully. I know what it's like to be where you're at and deal with the problems that you're dealing with. The training and development piece was more about finding out how people tick and learning skills to help them be better business people and better in life. So what we do sort of pulls all those sorts of things together. So it's great fun, and it's a great privilege to be able to work with you. So, Oscar, say a few wise things.
Okay. Look, I suppose the thing that I'm not sure if you all know, but I was a client of Acuity Group, which is our sister organisation. We've got 2 business partners in that, and that's really one. I had a great outcome. I mean, I'd done a business degree, I'd done my PY, and I'd done an MBA as well. And by far and away, the best thing that I did was convince my partners in the accounting practice to get coached, and we had great outcome, and that's really what fueled the fire. Then I went, okay, this is more about what I want to do, and hence here we are today. And it's all about us passing our knowledge and wisdom and experience across to you so that you guys can make great decisions. And we're very confident and we believe in our clients that they are capable of running great businesses. They just need the guidance, they need some structure, and they need some input. And often it's about that input creates the self-belief that they can do it. And I think I've said to all of you, whatever you want to create, you can do it. Start believing. And the fact that you've joined Steve and I means that you're smart dudes. You made a great decision, number one, so we'll help you keep making great decisions. So happy days. All right, moving on. So just quick program outline. This is you, Steve. If you want to run through.
Yeah, sure. We'll just run through these.
Yep.
In order of rollout, we've put this together in an order because we believe that one subject leads to the next, which leads to the next, which leads to the next. So vision and focus are really important. Quite often we find that in business that people aren't clear about where they're going. They might have a big picture idea, but it's sometimes not time bound at all. And so they don't have the focus they need to do everything in the business. So vision provides focus, and it provides clarity and direction around what you're doing. We know why we're doing it. We know where we're going. So that's really important to get that set. And you might think, look, I know what I'm doing with my business and I know what I want to create. It's quite interesting when you get into an exercise that will take you through how you can fine tune that and do a reality check on it. That leads us to, well, actually, what's the business model? And that's the foundation of your profitable business. So this is the relationship. It's all about your product, your market, your service, and your price, and being absolutely clear how all those things are aligned. And so that's a clear next step, if you will. We then look at positioning. So how are you going to differentiate yourself and position yourself in the market so you can drive the right sort of clients into your business at the right price? This is by intent. There's lots of people out in the market doing things. How do you position yourself ahead of the market? So that's pretty important. The next thing we'll cover is, of course, what does the brand look like? So we have a brand expert come in and take us through this particular section. We had a great result with this in the first cohort we took through, challenging your thinking on the look, feel, and positioning visually and of your brand. So that's something that it's well worthwhile having a look to see that it's going to line up with who you want to be, how you're positioned, what your model is, and so forth. Then we're going to look at relationship marketing. We believe that one of the strongest ways you can build a client base is through relationships. Who knows who? And certainly in this part of the world, we're all pretty connected and it's all pretty close. So if you can develop some strategies and some discipline and some systems for doing this, you'll get a great result. So that's relationship marketing. If you want to switch to the next one. Referral relationships is how you cultivate those relationships to ensure that they continually send you the right clients. It's a skill, it's a process, it's something you can learn, and it'll create huge value for your business. That leads us, of course, to selling skills, because you'll generate the sort of business that you want. You've got to be able to convert it. And we'll take you through what we believe is a quite straightforward process, not too complicated, but very powerful to show you how you can close more deals. The next thing is, of course, and you would have heard Oscar talk about that at one of the 5 Keys workshops, and that is how do you create loyal clients who are so excited and delighted with what you do for them that they refer you all over town. That requires a strategy, it requires discipline and a process. So we're going to show you what we do about that and what we think you should be doing. Understanding the numbers, of course, some of the basics to take control of your financial performance. Often we leave all of that stuff till the end of the year and the accountant says something to us. What we want you to do is really understand the numbers to a little bit of depth, or the appropriate depth for you. And then finally, building a plan for the next season, whatever that season is for you, so that you've got a clear rollout plan for what you're doing to take your business to the next level. And so 1 through 10, each of these is 1 month, and Oscar will talk a bit more about that. And when combined, you've got a whole lot of the moving parts to grow your business successfully. Oscar?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So Steve just took you through the core structure. As he mentioned, there is real. We didn't just cobble it together because it felt good. It over 15 years of coaching, Steve's 25 years of coaching. The reality is, you need to work logically and intentionally through these modules in the order that we've done, because one feeds on the other. Right, they are connected in a logical order. It's a big reason why in the Acuity one-on-one coaching that we do as part of the Acuity group, we don't ever go in and just fix a problem. Clients tell us, I've got a problem here, can you come and do a session with us? We say no. And the reason being is that, as we spoke about in the 5 Keys workshop, different parts of your business are interlinked, and often a problem in one part of your business is the result. You're just seeing the symptom, but the actual result is further up or further down the chain from there. And so we need to work in a structured and logical order. And when we do that, we end up having great outcomes that don't just accumulate, but they exponentially grow. And that's what we mean by small improvements together create a compounding effect. What happens in your positioning and defining your positioning clearly is then communicated clearly through your distribution and through your referral partnerships, which results in, more good opportunities coming knocking on your door. Having a great system that captures and converts more and at a higher value, then exponentially adds to that value. And then if you look at your after sales and how you manage your client relationships, people that are happy and well positioned already then become delighted raving advocates. And I'm just going to share you a little spreadsheet that demonstrates that, so bear with me as I pull this up. Can you see that spreadsheet now? Yep. So each of these are your what we called your growth levers. So your positioning, what positioning does. If we look at a business that turns over about $500,000, the gross margin, that is the direct costs associated with doing business, might be materials, might be labour, might be a combination of those, is about 50%. And they've got some operating costs, rent and other insurances and accounting fees and other bits and pieces of 100. They're making a net profit of 150. Now, the thing to be aware of, there's two parts to this. So one is how these things it's not just the sum of, but it's the exponential sum of these. It's the cumulative compounding effect. But it's also that you don't need to spend all your time in these areas. If you fix one area, the little improvements make a huge difference. So you don't have to be perfect. You just need to make improvements along the way in each of these areas. It has a massive compounding effect. So what we find is positioning, clarifying your competitive advantage, driving that through compelling messaging, and running your business around that clarity in terms of what makes you unique and valuable to your clients can often improve your margin because you're able to charge more for your services. You're able to step out of the cost plus method and look at value pricing, right? And that might add 5% to your business, right? To your margin. So my margin's now improved from 250 to 275, but the revenue is the same. If I'm targeting the right people and now targeting the right distribution channels, whether that be online or through referral relationships, we think that easily will improve your revenue by 5%. Right, so now my revenue's gone from 500 to 525. When I've got a great sales system that captures all my opportunities and enables me to sit in front of them and convert more of them because I'm able to better diagnose their problem and understand what's going on for them, that also increases your sales revenue by, let's just pick a number, conservatively 5%. And if we're able to package our products up and upsell as a result of positioning ourselves well and best diagnosing our clients, that will also improve our margin because now we're not just improving our revenue, but we're able to add an additional product for no extra cost. So that will improve your margin by 5%. And if we delight our clients, well, all of a sudden we've got our clients referring us all over town. It's another pipeline of new opportunities that Steve and I find most of our clients fail to capitalize on. If that can improve sales, then that increases it by 5%. And then because we become aware of how we're operating our business, how we want to be positioned, and we're able to look at improvements and efficiencies, if we can improve our overhead costs by 5%, or reduce our overhead costs by 5%. We only have to grow our business by 15% in terms of revenue, and yet our net profits improve by about 66%. So it doesn't take much across the 5 or 6 key levers in your business to enable you to improve your net profit. And what we're all about is, we're not really about, well, we are about improving your revenue, but really we're only improving your revenue if it generates an appropriate improvement in your profit. Growth for the sake of growth is a waste of time, and people will talk about lots of opportunities to do that. Our focus is about not just growing revenue, but improving profitability, so that it doesn't require you to double your revenue to generate a meaningful increase in your net profit percentage. So hopefully that makes sense to you all. Do you have any questions around that? Nope.
No, good.
All right, let me... and I think the word that we use a lot, Steve, is two words, structured and intentional.
Correct.
The things that we do through this program, it's about creating clear structure, which creates clarity. And the second piece is about being intentional about the things that we do, focusing on the things that give us the best outcomes in terms of where we want to go with the business, rather than just having lots of little things flit around in our head that we get distracted with or don't do fully, and then we change direction, or we get advice from someone who says, oh, don't do that, do this, and they've got no context. So those are the two words that you'll hear us use a lot: structured and intentional. All right.
One of the things about that model that Oscar shared with you is that it's a little piece here and there across the business that gets you the big result. It doesn't have to be a big hit in one particular area. The only way you can look at that is to take the time out to actually consider all the moving parts of your business and ask yourself, well, what are the little things I can change here and there to get me a big result? But the multiplier factor is quite big.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think it highlights is, a lot of people think they need to spend a lot of time doing marketing and a lot of time doing distribution to get in front of people. The reality is, you just have to get, to make a big difference, you just have to get the right people knocking on your door. And what you might find is that step one for you is actually getting the right people who value what you do, and knocking on your door and getting them to become clients. Your revenue might not grow much at all. In fact, you might just change your client mix and you actually get a big uplift in your profitability. The things that we do in the program are not about you having to sacrifice significant amounts of time. Again, it's about doing the right things at the right time. And they'll have big impact in your business.
See, down here, down here in the southwest, it's very much word of mouth. And friends of friends that trust people is where I find most of the work comes from. It's just by word of mouth, rather than having a flashy website and things like that.
One of the important things for you in that environment is going to be, Mark, it's going to be thinking about how you can systemize all of that and control it and have it just part of the way your business works, rather than all being, particularly when you bring other people into the business, maybe employees or whatever, is to have that as a system, and you energize it and you focus on it and you document it, and it's done properly with intention. I think that's what we'd say about that, wouldn't we, Oscar?
Yeah. How do you leverage what you've got as well?
Yeah.
And how do we, a lot of the word, so without jumping into module 3, which is about positioning, but why, understanding what they say, what your clients say when they pass your name on to someone else, and how do we then use that and understand that? Because it's not really Mark. Yeah, it is Mark because Mark behaves around things and does certain quality of work, but what does it actually mean for an end user, and how do we drive that, and how do we then, when we go and have a conversation with others, how do we leverage that positive affirmation that your clients so readily give, Mark? So it's bottling up the essence of who you are so that we can clearly communicate it, because if people don't know you, you're just going to walk in and go, this is who I am. Everyone else likes me, you should like me too. So we'll distill all that down, mate. And that's once we get some clarity around that, it helps with the conversation, and it also helps with what channels do we need to target to go and get the clients you want. I'll say this: websites nowadays, a lot of your marketing collateral is stuff that you need to have as a matter of course, but websites in and of themselves, they don't convert. You convert. They might, they need to just tell the right story. That's the other thing. But yeah, in what you do, the type of clients that you want in your distribution partners, those that are referring work to you, they're most probably not going to your website. The end user who's looking for some maintenance most probably is, but we'll discuss that in a bit more detail, Mark. So, all right. So the resources that you're going to get when you come to the first session, you're going to get a program file, which will have dividers for each of the modules. You're going to get the PowerPoint slides printed. They will be there where you can make notes. You're going to get online videos. I've already sent you the first one, which is on vision and mission and creating focus in your business. There will be downloads and additional readings. I will, before each module, email you a lot of the templates that we call downloads, so that you've got them there and you can type things up as we go. If you prefer to have printed ones, let me know and I'll bring some printed ones along as well. But they form the basis of what you're going to be implementing. So you will get those. The odd module has some additional reading. We have a monthly Q&A. So if I haven't already, what will happen after today is we will send out calendar invites for all the Q&As and all the workshops for the rest of it. So that'll come through. So keep an eye out on that. We do record every Q&A. So this is being recorded. And if you miss at the end of today, we will send that out to everyone anyway. So you've got it if you want to re-watch it. Those Q&As are an opportunity for you to get access to us yet again, so that if you have any questions around the things that we did in the workshop, or you're implementing something that we did in the workshop, you're actually going out into the real world and applying it to your business, and it didn't quite go how you thought, or you had a question, or you wanted to bounce something off us, or you had a great outcome and you wanted to, hey, I did this and this is what happens. Now what do? We had one of our participants, we'd done some work around positioning, and then she actually went into a sales call and she got really excited because they basically went, hey, you can just do all of this, what you do for us, for our business. And that excited her until she realized, how do I control how much work do I do? So we had a conversation with her about how she can control and manage that client so that it doesn't become overwhelming for her. We will have webinars. So along the journey, we'll let you know. We'll have we'll have guest presenters. We usually have someone who talks to us about tax, around tax planning time. We've got a social media expert who we get online. She'll talk to you about social media, because we don't cover off on that. It's quite specific. So she'll do a presentation. Got a bookkeeper, and also we're actually having a look at whether there's anyone that we can get on board to do a little 1 hour bit on AI and how to deploy it and what some of the tools are, and perhaps demystifying that a little bit. So we're in the process of having a chat about that as well. So we'll let you know. No extra cost for that. That'll just be at a calendar invite. We'll give you some notice and you come online. Again, all the online stuff will be recorded, and if you can't make it, we'll email you and you'll get a copy to go and watch later. Steve and I are available outside of the workshops and the Q&A. You can call us. All we'll say is that we'll get, if we're in with a client meeting, well, then we'll get back to you within 24 hours, either via phone, text, or email, just to say, hey, missed a call or got your email, how can we help? So we're very focused around how do we help you practically implement what we do in the workshops, and our goal is to help you achieve what you want to achieve in your business.
An example of that could be you've got an important sales call coming up and you just want to fine tune a few things you might say. Our pleasure to help you with that.
Yep.
Or you might have a difficult customer. What do I say? They're not happy. What do I do now? Yeah. Those sorts of things. We're really good at helping you with that. So, yeah.
Yep. And some of those things might be a phone call, or we might actually say, hey, let's have a chat about that, like we did in the last cohort, the last module. At the end, we actually brainstormed some stuff for one of the guys who had a client that was becoming quite painful, and how does he exit them? And so we had some really good insights from everyone. All right, logistically, venues Kalis Brothers at Oxford Street, which is where we did the 5 Keys workshop, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Not except module 1, that was from the last cohort. I haven't updated from all the modules. So if you can get there sort of 15 minutes early, that'd be great. There is parking at the rear of Kalis. It's called Max Lane. It looks like a driveway, but it's actually on Google Maps. That's free. So if the barrier is up, code 7070. So I'm not sure if I included it in the last email, but I will email you on Thursday and provide you with that code again. It generally doesn't change. If it does, let me know, call us, and we'll get you the new code. But generally speaking, they were going to change them every month, but that's free parking. And because we're there, there's no problem, because we rent using their facilities, they're happy for our clients to park there as well. So free parking. If for some reason you can't get in, you need to, there is parking behind, but only do it just to, only pay for your parking for half an hour just to run in and grab the new code. But yep, and bring your laptop. As I said, you'll have your folder. I'll send you all the stuff, all the worksheets via email, and you will often have to go back and review and pull those up. So bring your laptop, free Wi-Fi there, and away we go. The other thing is they do great sushi there, and if you're running late and you haven't had lunch and you want to grab lunch and bring it into the workshop, we got no problem with that. If you need to eat, need to make sure the brain's fueled, so we don't have a problem with that. So don't be scared to bring your food in, whether it be some good sushi or whatever you've got. If it smells really good, Michael, you've got to make sure you share it with us, mate. Steve.
Okay. So expectations. So what can you expect of us? Well, you can expect we deliver what we've promised to you, and we'll be asking for feedback all the time, and we'll be checking in with you that you're getting your needs met. So our undertaking is to give you what we say we're going to give you, plus a whole lot more. We'll also be available. Oscar mentioned that if we're with a client, of course, we can't interrupt our meetings to call back. That's just how we operate. But we will call back within 24 hours. And so don't be afraid to give us a call, to ask us for input or deal with something that you want dealt with. That's really most important, and you feel that you can do that. So next slide, Oscar.
Yep. One of the things that we will, just to add to that, one of the things that we will do as we progress through the program and as you get clearer and more comfortable and confident with how to have conversations with new clients and referral partners, don't be scared to ask us for intros as well. We're here to not just unload our knowledge, but if I can, and Steve, if we can connect you with people, then we would love to do so. And as you're all hearing about each other and what you're wanting and who you want to be connected to, don't be scared to support each other and open your networks up to each other as well. So so I just wanted to add that, Steve.
Yeah, that was great addition. Absolutely right. Sometimes we get calls about people have got an angry customer. What do I do with that? I'm feeling defensive and I don't know what to say here. So we're really good at sorting all that sort of stuff out. So feel free to call. Expectations. Well, if you're going to enroll in a program like this, we ask that you give it the time it needs. There's learning and then there's application. So we'd like it if you would engage fully, do the pre-workshop learning, which is the watching the video, and then follow up and do the implementation exercises, and have a crack really. And as far as it goes, we want you to contribute to the group. There's no question is a bad question. Ask any questions you like, and we're going to encourage that you're giving each other feedback and making contributions. Often someone that's not connected with your industry can say, oh, well, why don't you think about this? So that's going to be quite useful. So we've found it's worked well with all the groups we've run over the years, and certainly in our last cohort, this is very valuable. There's some amazing input that people provided for each other. Oscar?
Yep. And just on that, we aim to make a safe space. So as Steve said, there's no right or wrong answers. And we want you to be confident to share, comfortable to share. And we had one of the past cohort, in one of the first modules, he sort of unloaded a little bit around some of the struggles he was having, and everyone was really respectful of him, really supportive of him. And he actually was one of the big takeaways for him was how appreciative he was for everyone else. And he felt much better about being able to share, and it sort of set the tone, and it's hugely important. Open mind, a beginner's mind, one open to learning and sharing, and you will never get judgment from us, and so we would never expect any of you to judge each other or yourselves. So please feel safe, and please make a safe space for each other.
So Oscar's basically spoken to this, other than for the no phones and email. We turn our phones off and don't do emails during the course. So that's quite important to us. The beginner's mind is, I always assume, well, let me just put it to you this way. One of the top characteristics of leaders, according to leadership theory at the moment, is being curious. Now, I wonder what that means. Let me find out more before you leap to judgment. And so having a beginner's mind is really useful. And I think Oscar's covered the rest. So let's get on with the culture.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to do a bit of work around your values in the program, but culture is hugely important in groups of people. It's about creating cohesion, and your culture in a business, and our culture that we're trying to foster, not just between Steve and myself, but within the cohorts themselves of the students, is your culture is driven by your values. You behave around the things that are important to you, and you avoid doing things that are not of value to you. And our values are joy, it's important that we see the positive and take pleasure in our own and everyone else's success. So we want to celebrate that success. So if you've done something great, whether you think people are interested or not, we want you to share that because we want everyone to be interested in it. We want to take pleasure. That positivity always, we find, becomes viral, becomes infectious, and every little step should be celebrated. Too many people don't celebrate their successes. So try to be positive when you're there. We know that life and business can be tough, but try to see the positive. And if you're struggling, reach out and we can talk through those issues. Which brings us to the community piece. Like what we really value about it is bringing like-minded people into a safe space. Business is lonely, but you don't operate in a silo. You're working with other people, whether you like it or not. Me, your clients, and your suppliers and your employees, and you've now got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people that are on that journey and understand the journey you're on. And so let's support each other around that. And practical. We're all about practical implementation. If there's something that we explain that doesn't make sense, or you go, how do I do that? Please make sure that you reach out, because we want to make it as simple as possible. I don't like the word dumb down, but we want to make this understandable and practical and implementable, because that's what will get you results. So we're all about simple solutions that work. And if you've got some that you want to share with each other, then please do so.
It's interesting, Oscar. Making things simple is incredibly difficult because you're looking at some things that can be quite complex, and then putting them across in a way that's simple and easy to apply requires a bit of brain power. So we're a continual work in progress on that, Oscar and myself. And so we'll always be asking you, is this working? Is it straightforward enough? Not because you need things to be simple. Simple works. That's the main thing. So
yeah,
it's really quite important to us.
Cool. So we sent you out a financial pre-workshop, pre-program questionnaire, which sort of helps us understand where you're at. All the financial information and everything you put there is private. We also want to understand where you're at and what you're wanting to get out of the program, because it just gives us context around where you're at and helps us understand and help you in a more targeted fashion when we're answering questions, or helping you with the implementation of the things that you need to do. Context is a word that you're going to hear a lot of in this program, and it's hugely important. In fact, your first video, one of the parts of the first video, is about context and its importance in your business. So if you haven't done so already, I think, Glenn, you've sent yours through. Could you complete the pre-workshop questionnaire and send that through? If you've got any questions around it, touch base with us, or touch base with us on Thursday at the workshop. Watch the educational video. The reason we've done an educational video is so that we free up time in the workshop, so that you've got access to us to implement in the workshop. We don't want the work. As much as possible, we want to make the workshop about implementation and practicality, and give you an opportunity to bounce off Steve and I, rather than us just stand up the front and be talking heads, and you walk away going, okay, now what did he say and how does that actually work? Those videos will always be available, so we'll send a link out about a week before each module so that you've got time. Most of the videos, I think all the videos are under 20 minutes, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. So watch those, and there are some questions. You don't have to know the answer. We just want to start getting you thinking about the things that we're going to do in detail in the workshop. So spend a little bit of time, get it to the top of mind, bring it to consciousness, and just spend some time reflecting. Make some notes. You don't have to have perfect answers. We're not asking you to do homework in advance. It's just getting you thinking about the things that were in the video, so that when we come to the workshop, you've sort of got a little bit of you've got a bit of momentum going into it. And then the most important thing is those things that we ask you to do post workshop. Go away and do them. A lot of those, as we move through the program, will actually be things that you're doing day to day in your business anyway, or should be doing day to day in your business. So it's not like we're asking you to take a day out each week to do it. They're just things that should become part of your day to day work, work life, and processes. Yep. And make yourself available for the mid-month Zoom Q&A. We get the time, life gets in the way, and you might need to miss the odd one, but we'll video it, and you can go back and watch it. And if you've got any questions, feel free to email. So the doing, like all our coaching, the implementation and the doing is what generates the return. So away you go. All right, that's a wrap. Watch the knowledge base video for module 1. We'll see you on the 25th, and the parking code 7070. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I don't at this stage. No, I'm good.
No.
No, Mark?
What if you don't have a laptop? How important is a laptop?
Oh no, I'll print everything out for you, mate. Do you have an iPad or anything, or?
No, not really. I've just got the the computer I use here at home, like a desktop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do, I'll email you whatever you need anyway, because then you've got it at home. I will bring the printed out worksheets, and then all I would say is, whatever you're doing, and it's not like you're writing 20, 30 pages. Most of them have stepped out guides to get you to do stuff. You can then convert it into that document that I've emailed through to you. So I'll have printed worksheets anyway, mate.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm just a bit old.
And so some people prefer to write as it is. So yeah, no stress.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Easy.
All right. Final thought.
Thanks a lot, guys.
This one's a little bit get you thinking about what's about to come. But good business leaders create a vision. They articulate the vision. They passionately own the vision, and they relentlessly drive it to completion. Jack Welch was the CEO of GE, and is famed for his business leadership and business management. And really, what we're saying is, we're going to get clear around where you want to go, and then that should be front and center of your leadership and the things that you do in your business. It'll provide the context for you to become really passionate about driving your business forward. So, and we're super excited about joining you on that journey. So, happy days.
Look forward to seeing you all later in the week.
Look forward to it.
All right. Good on you guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll leave you to it. We'll see you on Thursday.
All right. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Yeah.
You want to turn the recording off?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait.
They seem like a nice group of guys.
They're
Is that recording still on?
I will stop the recording. Stop Fireflies. Stop recording.